Oh no, I'm live. Get that stuff done. Ow! Stepped on something. Yo, I'm live. Ah, what did I just step on? Ah, these kids, man. Hey, what's going on? Dotty Kurigel at you, all the way from London, UK. We are live. Hang on, I'm just gonna share this out to everybody. Right, where's that thing now? If you come into the live stream, give us a thumbs up if you can hear me. Let's set the ball rolling. Let's just see. Go to my videos. I'm just trying to see. Yeah, I got that one right. Good. If you're in the live, give us a thumbs up so I know you're here. What's that sound? Oh, the fan. Turn that off. I'm just going to invite a few people into the live and share it onto a few places. We are live today and we're talking about the Narcissist's Pedestal. My name is Dot Ikweregel Achiru, all the way from London, UK. My channel is Talk to Dot and I spend time talking about domestic abuse, domestic violence. My mission is to expose domestic abuse for what it is. You understand? Because in my line of work, what I find is I meet so many people and I work with people that say, how did I not know this? I wish I could go back with the knowledge I have. How's everybody today? Everyone's fine. Thank you for coming on board. So everyone wants to know, oh, why did I know this? I wish I knew that, and stuff like that. So I try to spread the light, knowledge, and all that stuff. And in a nutshell, that's what I do. I'm just going to share the live stream out on Facebook and see if we can grab a few people. Share it out if you can to your friends, your family, and let them come on board so we can set the ball rolling. I just need about 5 minutes to get people here if I can, but I'll just do my bit to share it out. Right, that's Facebook there. Put it there, and let's see, I'm live. How's everybody? How's the lockdown? Are you still locked down in your city, or are you free? You free now to go around and interact? Are you in America? How is the whole chaos and riots and protests? How's that going? Where are you in the world? Where are you in the world? Tell us. Let's know where you are. Let's know what part of the world you're in. I'm here in London, UK, as I said before. Yes, I'm here. I am here. So tell us where you are. I'll just put that there. I'm just trying to share this out. Catch me live right now on YouTube. It's difficult, the technicals, it just takes time. You have to do the same thing all the time. But we're learning. We're learning every day. One more share and we start. One more share. I'm good, I'm fine, keeping my head up, staying home and staying safe, staying on top of my game, trying to do what I can do, and what I can't do, I leave it because I don't want to put too much pressure on myself. I don't put too much pressure on myself so that I don't feel like I'm failing at something. So please don't put too much pressure on yourself. Do what you can do, and what you can't do, leave it. Do you get me? What you can't do, leave it. Zero Infinity, what's going on? What's happening? Good to see you. Always a pleasure to see you, sir. Always a pleasure to see you. Loving the fact that you're here. You make it very interesting all the time. You make it super interesting all the time. Yeah, I'm just keeping a track on what I'm doing. So great. So we're here today. Where's that one gone? We're here today to talk about the Narcissist's Pedestal. The Narcissist's Pedestal. That's what we're here to talk about today. Now, what is the Narcissist's Pedestal? As we know, a pedestal is, a platform that you've been lifted up and you've been put there. So when we talk about the Narcissist's pedestal, it's something that the narcissist has created to put you. Normally, the narcissist finds someone, it could be male or female, because domestic abuse is not It cuts across gender, race, sex orientation, sexual orientation. So it's not about it's not a woman or a man thing. It's an everybody thing. So the narcissist meets someone, and in the early stages, in the early days, what they do, or what psychologists call that stage, is the honeymoon stage. That's the stage where there's a lot of love bombing. That's the stage where there's a lot of showering of love and compliments, and you are the air that I breathe, you are the oxygen, my energy, my life support, my everything. They shower you with so much compliments. What they're doing is they are creating a pedestal, they are creating a platform that they're going to put you on. Now, it seems good. It seems interesting. It seems like, wow, you are my queen. You are my everything. If you come into the live stream, give us a thumbs up, and, put something in the chat so I know who is here. They put you on this pedestal with all of this love and all of this affection and everything. And you're just like, oh my goodness. It might feel like it's a bit too much, but it's fun, But the truth is, what people need to understand is that no pedestal is good. There's nothing good about a pedestal. People need to be allowed to be human. Everyone is human. We all need to be on a platform. If everybody is put on a pedestal, who's going to be walking on ground zero? Who's going to be walking on the surface? So the narcissist will raise you up, will shower you with all these compliments. But what you need to take note of is that after that honeymoon stage, after the love bombing, after putting you on the pedestal, what comes is the devaluation stage. So after all of that showering and all that, remember, what they're doing is baiting you. They're doing these things because they want to get you hooked. They want to get you trapped in their claws. That's why they're giving you all of this stuff. That's why they're putting you on that pedestal. Remember, and I cannot overemphasize this. Anyone who puts you on a pedestal, be it your parents, be it your boss in the office, be it your partner, be it anyone at all, your pastor, whoever puts you on a pedestal is setting you up for a fall. The view will look great from up there, but you know what? One day you're going to fall off that pedestal. And when you fall off that pedestal, it's going to be so difficult for you. So after that pedestal and the love woman and the sharing and the putting you up on a platform, what comes is the devaluation. You will be devaluated in so many ways you won't understand. And what happens to you is, instead of understanding that, this is a pattern, this is what's going on, you're going to try to want to get up there, because what you're thinking is that at one point I was the everything. I was the oxygen. I was the one that when I spoke, everyone listened. When I said something, it made more sense. You will feel like, what am I not doing? You will try to get there. It's like being on a high. You understand? Someone takes a drug for the first time and they feel a high. When the effect of the drug wears off, you go down. You understand? You go down. Yeah? And when you go down, when you come down, and you're going to try to want to get up again, and that's where the problem is. You see, it is wrong for anyone to put anyone on a pedestal. This is what narcissists do. It's a tactic. Now, in some relationships, right, when you met the narcissist, before I go into that, don't ever think that the pedestal was a good idea, was a way to praise you. The pedestal was more about them. So as long as they had you feeling like you were shining, that shine that they were creating on you was more like them feeling grandiose. It was more about them, not about you. So what happens is that you notice in some relationships, right, the narcissist like hooks you. One, you may have been more attractive than themselves, so you're being the more attractive person, gave them their props. Oh, I'm dating this so attractive girl. She's like a queen. She's a beauty queen. And then they will shower you with all of this extra. But you know what? As long as you look that fine, it raises them up. You might have been that guy in the relationship that was from the better family, the family that had a better life, better exposure, better respect, and the narcissist is in there with you. You see, they put you on the pedestal because of what they're gaining from you, because as long as they're with you, your light makes them shine. Most narcissists are empty, shallow people. They need the victim to help them shine. So all of that pedestal and raising you up and all that stuff, that's not about you. It's more about them. You get me? It's more about them. So it might be, maybe you are a better singer or a better musician or someone who was respected by a lot of people, and then them being a nobody and affiliating themselves to you, it just means that all of the respect that people had, especially in a man-woman relationship, if the man was a narcissist and the woman was all that, she got a better job, she got a better friend, she got a better family, she got the respect from the community and stuff like that, and the man was like that narcissist that didn't have much, he would raise her up so much. She may not even need those compliments, but he would do it in so much that she'll be up there. As long as he was affiliated to her, that respect and everything she had would rub off on him. Same thing if the man was all that and the woman was nothing. Everything he is, and she puts him up there, won't be reflected on her. But what comes next is that once they've wrapped you up in their clutch, the devaluation comes when they no longer see those things or no longer call those things that they called before as good. They will say things like, you don't look good. Who's going to want you? And you're thinking, at some point, that same person said, you are everything. You're like a queen. You're like an angel. But all of a sudden they say, you don't look, what is wrong with you? You're weird. They don't see anything. It's not like they don't see it. They don't say anything good because they've put you on a pedestal. Now they need to crush you. Remember that the idea of a narcissist is to create confusion, to rewire your your senses. So they just mash things every way they can. They just mash things up. That is the idea of the narcissist, of a narcissistic pedestal. That's the idea. That's the idea of what they're trying to do to you. No relationship should function on anybody being placed on a pedestal. Now, I know that in society today, it's kind of different and it's difficult because everything around you is the hype. You look at celebrities on TV, you look at the news, the media, everything is promoting a hype. Celebrity marriages, celebrity husbands, celebrity wives, celebrity children, celebrity jobs, Facebook, social media, everything promotes a kind of lifestyle. But the truth is that's not the case. Everyone is walking on the same level. We all have our foot on earth, on the floor. We're all in the same place, A lot of these people, right, the lifestyle that is being promoted is not the reality of things. I say to people, right, most of the stuff you see on social media, on the media, is what they want you to see. You understand? I have a material coming up soon. I'm not sure in what way I want to present it, as a book or as a writing or as a song or as just an article or a video. And it's actually going to be titled, They Only Show You What They Want You to See. You understand? The only thing you see on social media is what people want you to see, which is why a lot of times, right, when people come out of abusive relationships and they tell you their story, you're saying, how is that even possible? You guys look like the best couples on social media. You guys look like the best couples on TV. I got fly in the house. Got fly in the house. I hate flies. Anything fly. But yeah, you guys look like the best people on TV and everywhere. But how could these things have been happening and no one saw it? But that's because they only show you what they want you to see. So be careful about the hype. When someone hypes you up too much, you have to take a step back and ask yourself, what is this hype about? It's too much. Now, as a victim in an abusive relationship and you were placed on a pedestal, you were love bombed, you were overshowered in the honeymoon stage, regular people at some point would say, it's a bit too much, and take a step back. So one thing I do a lot is I ask people in abusive relationships, the victims, the reason why you went along with the showering for so long was probably because there was something inside of you that was missing. You needed to hear that stuff. So you may have been all of that externally, but inside of you, they have needed some sort of validation, and which is why the narcissists, being as smart as they are and very good at what they do, and very good at identifying people that have a gap in them, that have a brokenness, they shower you with that stuff. And because of who you are, because of that brokenness, because of that dent inside you that no one else sees, that's why, the pedestal thing works. Now, there's another category of people that your relationship was really so short, so you didn't have enough time to call it out. If maybe you dated the person for longer, maybe a year or 2 years, you probably would have gotten tired of the love bombing. But a lot of these relationships move very quickly. So by the time you're like, oh, I can't breathe, it's too much, you're already maybe pregnant or moved in together, or or something, or married. So it becomes difficult for you to break yourself because they have to be really quick. Narcissists know that the longer a relationship is before they have a commitment, you will wake up. So they have to rush things to commit you into something at some point. Once they have you hooked, they will devalue you. There is no, it is the same process. You need to watch my video that is called Once You Know One Narcissist, You Know All of Them. It's the same process. It's the same things they do. It's a pattern. Remember, narcissism is a personality disorder. I need to just reduce the, otherwise you keep getting buzzes. Narcissism is a personality disorder. You get me? It is a narcissistic. This is a personality disorder. So that's why when you know one narcissist, you know all of them, because they do the same exact things. Just gonna look at my notes and see some of the things. Sometimes the whole pedestal thing comes from families. So you have people in families where, what's the term now? They're the golden child. They are the golden child of the family. They're the ones that can do no wrong. They just put them up there, and it kind of creates. Now, some people, that whole golden child experience turns them into narcissists or abusive people because they feel like the world at my feet, that's the way I was raised, I'm beyond everything. Sometimes they don't want it, but their parents do that to them, either because they were great athletes or they were great at debates or something, and they brought trophies home. So they were placed on a pedestal by their parents, and sometimes it causes a sort of friction between them and their siblings, because they become that child that, why can't you be like your brother? Why can't you be like your sister? Why can't you dress like your brother? Why can't you bring trophies home like your brother or like your sister? So that creates that sort of friction. But then there's those people that begin to enjoy it, and then their parents or their family or their community creates that. We have that in churches and religions and in workplaces, where one person is staff or a member of the choir or the ushers is made by the religious leader to feel like, oh, you're the best singer. When you sing, things just happen, or the way you play the instrument, there's no one else as good as you. It creates friction amongst the organization, and it becomes a problem. You understand? In some cases, switch it. The victim may be the person that creates a pedestal, for the narcissist partner. Now, no one, absolutely no one can cope with a pedestal, not even a narcissist. They can't. So even in non-narcissistic or abusive relationship, women and some men tend to do that a lot, where you meet someone and you want to prove to the world, you want to prove to everyone that they're the best. Oh, my partner is so good. He's so super handsome. He's so cool. He's so this. Now be careful, because if you were doing that with a narcissist, they love the praise. They love the attention. They love the whole grandiose experience. They love it. But when you put a narcissist on a pedestal, on a mountain, remember, they got the bird's eye view. They see everything. They will use that position to control everything. They will control everything. And now that becomes double problem for you, because you've put them in a place where they are not there, or maybe they were kind of there. You now have to work so hard to keep them there. You have to make them feel that way. So even when they turn around and they're so nasty to you, there's nothing you can do about it, because you already started the relationship putting them there because you wanted to prove a point to your friends. Now, in some cases, the narcissist was placed on a pedestal by the community. The community, they were a great worship leader, they were great at their job, but they had amazing clients that thought they were amazing. And you're thinking, I live with this person, they are nasty. There's really nothing you can do about it, because they are on that pedestal, and they need to maintain their position there. So it's your job to work at it, to put them there. Now, if they put you on a pedestal, what's going to happen is that at some point they freak out. Like, she's all that. She's so beautiful. She's so intelligent. She's got the best friends. She's got the best jobs. She's got the best everything. Is she going to stay with me? And they get paranoid. They get really paranoid. Is she going to stay? Am I going to be good enough? Am I going to be this? Am I going to be enough? They get paranoid, and then the abuse starts. And you can't understand. Now, first of all, even though, and don't get me wrong, there's some people that were placed on the pedestal because of these things, which obviously they got. They look good, they got a good job, they got a good education, they got a good family, they got good morals, they got all those things really. But it has never really defined them. It never meant anything for them until they met a narcissist who kept on saying, I can't believe you got that job and you're so humble. I can't believe you came from that family and you're so meek. You know, so they bring out this thing and they prop you up, and then they pull it down. Because they get to the point where they can't, it's exhausting for everyone. Even for an abnormal person, it is exhausting. And then they begin to devalue you. They begin to say stuff like, what job? That's a stupid job anyway. You're not even going there. I don't want you going to work anymore. See, because of this job, that's why you got no respect for me. You know, I don't want you singing in that choir anymore because you sing so well. Everyone looks at you and praises you. No one sees me. You know, so they begin to fly. You know, they begin to devalue you because they can't cope. They feel like, remember that with the narcissist, right, the attention has to be on them. They have to be on the spotlight. So when they're trying to fish you out, they don't mind building that wall, building that mountain to put you there. Once they get in that position, they need to bring everything down so that they can keep you under control and leave you in that position where you're asking yourself, where did I go wrong? And besides, they cannot have a spouse or a partner that people focus on. They cannot have that spouse who is more intelligent than them. They cannot have that spouse who looks better than them. They cannot have that spouse that people respect more than them. It has to be about them. So they have to break your spirit so that you don't even believe in yourself. Now, if anyone puts you on a pedestal, overpraises you, overloves you, over compliments you, that you know in your heart, you feel it. It's too much. I can't breathe. The compliments are too much. That is one of the biggest red flags you can ever ask to see. Trust me. It is a massive, massive red flags, because when they lift you up, they're going to bring you down. And when they bring you down, you're going to be left on the floor thinking, all right, how did I get here? You're going to want to go back there because you're on a high. So anyone that spends so much time trying to over-promote you, overpraise you, overdo all this stuff, you want to be careful about them. You want to be really, really, really careful about them. It's like people, you know, people so unreal. It's the relationship is so unreal. It's so unrealistic. It's like you're living in a bubble, in a fantasy, in a fantasy world. You're living in a fluff, in a narcissist fluff, you know. And you know, for lack of words to say, then someone farts, and you're like, oh my goodness, they're real. Oh my goodness, she can fart, or he can fart, you know. But it's normal. People fart all the time. This is just normal. You understand? So that's how unrealistic the relationship is. It's like, oh, I was going to say that. Oh, how did you know I was going to say that? I want to go there. Oh, yeah, let's just go there. Oh, can I watch this movie? That movie is the best. You just, everything. It's too much. You know, it's going to crumble. Trust me. It is going to crumble. And it's going to crumble. You know, just looking for one of the key lights, you know. Like I said, everyone should feel very, very normal in a relationship. You should just, your relationship be normal life, no fake life, no trying to be something that isn't real. Just be normal. Any relationship that makes you feel like it's unreal, if for one moment, any moment at all, you feel like this is not real, this is cuckoo land, that is one of the hugest, if there's a word like that, that is one of the biggest red flags you can ask for. Run away. Don't do it. Don't do it. You get me? Don't do it. You know? So it is, narcissistic relationships are very much characterized by that grandiose experience. Some people think that, oh, one of the characteristics of a narcissist is, the whole grandiose, the spotlight, but they don't understand that sometimes the spotlight on the narcissist is them lifting you up at the beginning stage. So you might think, no, it wasn't like that. He's quite humble. She's quite humble. She doesn't even talk so much about herself. It's all about me. She makes everything about me. Everything is about me. She just, sometimes I even ask her, like, why don't you just do something for yourself? She's like, oh, no, it's all about you. You should be very careful. That's a red flag. It's not normal for someone to put themselves back, so that you can be lifted up all the time. It's not normal. It's not a normal thing. If you find yourself in such a relationship, you should take a step back and question it and ask yourself, this doesn't sound right. What's all this overpropping for? Why are they overpropping me? Overpropping me everything. Everything is just fine. You cough and like, oh my God, did you just cough? That's so sweet. You're like, hot. Oh my goodness, she sneezed. Oh my God, she sneezed. It's too much. Take a step back and say, no. This is not real. This is not real life. This is not real life. I can't do this. You take a step back. But the problem is that, not really a problem. A lot of times the victim has a crack. They have a crack. But sometimes they don't see it. They've overlooked it. Not like they've overlooked it. It's just there, but they don't see it. They don't feel it. They've forgotten it was there. So when all of these things are coming around them, they don't know that they're accepting it or they're letting it happen because it's feeling that crack that was there, that void. Sometimes I try not to use void because people think when you say void, it's something massive. Sometimes the void is just a crack. Yeah, the void is just a crack. There's that crack there that needs to be filled. Just think about it. There is it's like you have something and there's a crack there. You put water. The water will find its way to the crack, fill up the crack before it can level up. There's that thing there, which is why you accept the compliments, the honeymoon stage, the love bombing, all of that excessiveness of the narcissist, because you needed it, you needed to feel it. So that's a huge red flag. There are lots of red flags, but this is a subtle one. It's something that doesn't seem like a negative, it seems like a positive. A lot of times when we talk about red flags, we talk about, was this person violent? Were they over controlling? Did they have anger problems? Were they really jealous? These are really negative things that you would see and say, all right, run away. But sometimes there are some really subtle red flags that look like a positive. I mean, sometimes you're like, oh, it can't be wrong. It can't be bad if someone was being complimentary, if they were being nice, if they were being everything good. That can't be bad. I mean, it's just a little bit of compliment. It's just a little bit of compliment. It's just a little bit of them being nice to me. It's not bad. And then you enjoy the pedestal. So you have to be very careful. Narcissists are very good at what they do. They're very good and they're very tricky and they're very sneaky as well. So some of the red flags are not overtly negative. They are somewhat positive. You understand? So are you in a relationship, or can you look back at your relationship and you remember the time when you met and it was all about you? It was all about how great you are. If you said anything, oh my goodness, oh, you're so intelligent. How did you even come up with this? They will like call their friends and, oh, my wife is so good. My girlfriend is so good. Or my boyfriend, he's just amazing. The way he does these things, or the way he cooks, or the way she cooks, or the way she does that. Everything about you is not wrong. Are you in that relationship, or were you in a relationship where it started off as everything about you was perfect? They made you feel like everything was perfect. You understand? It's these extremes coming together that becomes an issue. I find out a lot of the people that come out of abusive relationship or are in abusive relationships that I work with, when they look back, one of the questions they ask themselves is, or one of the questions that tears them apart that they keep asking themselves is, at the beginning, everything was fine. Everything was great. Everything was amazing. It was like I could do no wrong. That's what they say to themselves. And then later on, everything just changed. It's like, I can't do anything right. Everything is, everything I try is just, so, but what happens? What that experience leaves you with is you begin to question yourself, like, because you think, hang on, at the beginning, I wasn't even trying, but everything was perfect. But now I'm trying so hard, but I can't get it right. So you begin to question yourself as opposed to questioning them. Like you begin to ask yourself, what have I done? What did I do wrong? Or how can I make this right? How can I get that experience back? That experience of perfection. Listen, there's no perfection in this life we live in. You can work towards perfection, but it's hard to achieve that. So in a relationship of two people, there's two imperfect people coming together, working together, understanding who each other person is, understanding their shortcomings, and finding a way to live through it. Not trying to make one person seem like they are a god or a goddess on earth. Because after the honeymoon stage, you're coming down from that pedestal. You will. In fact, in an abusive and a narcissistic relationship, you don't come down from the pedestal. They pull you down from it. So you literally fall down from the pedestal. And however you fall down, break a leg, break your hand, spiritually or whatever, that's what happens. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what it is about a pedestal. If you're just coming into the live, my name is Dr. Igregalachiru, all the way from London, UK, and my channel is Talk to Dot. I spend time to create awareness about domestic abuse, domestic violence. I try to teach people about the red flags so that they don't make the mistake of going into an abusive relationship. I try to explain to them how abuse works and the different tactics of abusive people, of perpetrators, so that those in abusive relationships can understand what it is and think about what they want to do about it. I, unlike most people, I'm quite forward. So if you do my checklist or you do one of my questionnaires and I can tell you point blank that you are in an abusive relationship, I will tell you to get out. You understand? A lot of times you can't solve a problem from inside, you can solve it from outside. You need to step out of the abusive relationship, then you can see clearly. I tell people point blank that a narcissist cannot change. Abusive people, they don't change, they just get older and they get worse. So as many times as they say they're sorry, they're not going to change. If a person wants to change, they will change. I mean, after the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth time, you should know that this person is just taking you for the mickey. If they haven't changed, they're not changing. It's a pattern, it's a behavior. If they keep saying sorry and doing the same thing over and over again, they're not going to change. I also try to help people come out of an abusive relationship because it's not that easy. It is quite difficult to come out of an abusive relationship. So I work with them on a safe plan and a safe exit. I actually call it prison break. If you're breaking out of a prison, you're breaking out of a war zone. I also work with people that have come out of abusive relationships, guiding them to their process of healing, because that process, it's a long walk. Trust me when I say this, it's a long walk. So I guide them through the process of healing so that they can find their path, they can discover their own. Saying that about finding your own, there is a course coming up. It's a free course. The reason why it's a free course, I should be charging, by the way. The reason why it's a free course is because one thing I've noticed is that, or one thing that is for a fact, people run out, escape, flee from an abusive relationship. They don't flee with a bag of gold. They're not a leprechaun. They don't flee with a bag of gold, so they don't have money. So I am organizing a free 14 days course for people who are in an abusive relationship and are trying to come out, or those that have come out of an abusive relationship and they're thinking, they feel deflated. They feel like, I've lost my energy, I've lost my zeal, I've lost everything. I can't find my track to healing. I can't get my life, I can't get my life back on track. So that course, 14-day course, is there for that purpose. And that course, you can get details. I'll just put that in the stream now. You can get details from my website and sign up for it. It kicks off on the 21st of June 2020. So if you'd like to find your oomph, where it is, if you're trying to find yourself, you're trying to find your path to healing, sign up for that course. Trust me, it's something not to miss. If you are in an abusive relationship or you feel like you're in an abusive relationship, trust me, it's all about instinct. Please talk to someone and please find help. Remember that it is not your fault and you are not alone. Please talk to someone. And if you have no one else to talk to, come talk to Dot. send me an email. I'm all over social media. You can find me on Facebook, you can find me on Twitter, you can find me on Instagram, you can find me on YouTube, you can go to my website, you can find me anywhere. If you're in an abusive relationship, come and find me. All right. Don't stay isolated. Isolation is the breeding ground of abuse. All right. So that is that about the narcissistic pedestal. If you have any questions, this is the time to ask me. This is the time to ask me the questions about being placed on a narcissistic pedestal. This is the time to ask the questions. Let's see who's there now. What are we tapping away? What are we tapping away then? Right. Yeah. So that's this. Check out my YouTube channel and check out my stuff on YouTube. I've got loads of videos. Check the playlist that says exposing domestic abuse, because in that playlist I go into quite a lot of stuff around narcissistic abuse, around coercion and control, about emotional abuse, about sexual abuse, sexual violence, spousal rape. On Friday I'll be live again on IG. I go live 3 times a week. Mondays is Facebook 10 o'clock GMT, 4 p.m. EST. Wednesdays is my usual YouTube live 10 p.m. as well, 4 p.m. EST. On Friday IG live, usually we have a guest. I'm not sure who's coming on this time, but it's always an amazing interactive section where you can come and ask questions, and obviously the title is there ahead of time. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, fathers and mothers, if you got any question, pop it to the live stream. I'm about to log out now. It's been an amazing chat, amazing solemn chat with everything going on. Leave your questions and leave your comments in the stream afterwards, because I will make it available on Facebook. On YouTube, and then I'll always go back there to see if people have put questions there and if anyone has any responses. Obviously, if you like what I do and you want to support what I do, my PayPal link is there. You can make a donation via PayPal or hit the $sign, make a donation so that the work can carry on, it can progress. And from time to time, I actually make like donations to support families in need, to help with their feeding and their like school fees for their children and stuff like that. So I do that. The last time we had fed families in need was over Christmas. We fed a total of 8 families in need. I'm trying to do that again on the 12th of July, which is my birthday. I want to feed some families in need. I want to support them, well, not really feeding, but like support them financially so that they can stock up, So if you want to, there's lots of information about that on my website. So from me to you, please, the huge red flag is the narcissist pedestal. Do not let anyone, not just in abusive relationships, but even in non-abusive relationship, in your workplace environment, in your church, in your family, with your children, do not put anyone on a pedestal. Do not put anyone on a pedestal, because what happens is that you're creating an unrealistic expectation. Anyone who puts you on a pedestal, expect that at some point you're going to fall off that pedestal, and when you do crash down to the bottom, you're going to be trying to get back on that pedestal, and trust me, you won't be able to. That's the devaluation stage. You get off that pedestal and you stay down. You spend the rest of your life and your time in that relationship trying to get up there. The insults will come, the put downs will come, everything you can think of, everything you can think about will come at that stage. You see a pedestal, you run away from the pedestal. We are all human beings and we need to live like human beings, okay? That should be your mantra. That should be your motto. You're going to work and someone is overpraising you, because you have narcissists everywhere. Workplace environment, in the church, your business, in your school, everywhere, families as well. It's not just about, a relationship, man-woman relationship. It's everywhere. You see it anywhere, You say, you hang on, I like being on the floor like every other person, as opposed to the media and the media hype and everything. I want to be real. You want to be real and keeping it real. So from me to you, it's your girl, Equirigal all the way from London, UK, saying one love, peace, respect, and guidance to everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful hump day.